Hey, it's Michael Saul with the Stock Market Trading Watch List for Wednesday, August 17th, 2011. As usual, the SPY video will be on the blog so you can get a little more detailed analysis of that. But basically, doji day, down day, market was trading down after hours. That's why you're seeing a different number here than you are here. Tested the 10-day moving average and held. I'd like to see some residual weakness. I've been saying this for a couple of days. I'd like to see some weakness down for a potential buying up, for a push higher into at least the second zone of resistance. Once again, I'm not a perma bull here by any means, but I think we can see some upside here before we turn back down. NASDAQ 100 got hit a little bit. And you can see it tried to break out, but couldn't get there. Russell, it's going to be the same, a little bit different type of pattern here. Once again, some weakness. I'd like to see some residual weakness on Wednesday. Here's the Dow. Okay, not as weak. Looks like tested the 10-day and just kind of like winding up. Semiconductors. Okay, pulled in here, actually broke the 2-bar low, but wound up getting a bounce off of that. See what this does. Biotechs. Okay, I'm saying biotechs, but typing banks, and I'm not even going to edit it. You're going to be able to see it in all your glory on the video. All right, banks. The banks to me look like they're coiling up. Could the coil break to the upside? Yes, it could. But, after an impulse like we saw down, and now we have the coil here, it usually leads to downside continuation. Okay, now we'll look at the biotechs, if you don't mind. Okay, so biotechs, pause day, not doing much. Oil, the OIH, pulled in, looks like it filled the gap. But will we get some residual weakness here? And if we do, will that offer a buying opportunity? Cyclicals. All right, not much. Let's look at gold. Okay. Gold could put in a lower high here or a small double top. Be watching that. I mean, I get questions all the time what my opinion is on gold, and every time I think that it looks like we can get a prolonged pullback, I mean, I guess this was the longest one we've seen. We just rip higher. I mean, after this push up here, I thought that we could have an intermediate term top in, but all it did was base and then break. So it's a GLD. It looks like it wants to tag 175 again. And above that, you have like 182 is silver. Okay, trying to creep up here. Volume is a little lame, at least on the ETF. Somebody wanted me to look at the bonds. Okay, bonds look like they're coiled up here. Look like they want to push higher. Notes. Okay, same kind of deal. The euro. Okay, you can see a lot of Fibonacci grids on this chart, but overall just kind of forming a consolidation. I think a big move is brewing in the euro. Don't ask me which direction. I mean, we are over the 200-day moving average, so that suggests to the upside, but it has to break out of the range. Here's the UUP. I didn't go over this one in yesterday's video, but we were watching this coming into the week, and you see it just had a gap down, so there's no really trigger firing off there. Look at CINA. Okay. All right, CINA pushed down into that zone we were watching. Okay, we were watching the 50% retracement at 94.41. All right, we were looking at this measured move here, and we were looking at the 200-day. Now, it didn't push far enough down that I'm going to sit here and go, you see, it hit the zone. I mean, it came a little shy. All right, if you look at the 5-minute chart, you could see there was a potential entry. All right, on the pullback here and the higher low, but I mean, this is super retro trading this. All right, if you were waiting for the zone to be tested, it fell a little shy of it. And now if earning, I still haven't checked when earnings are, by the way. So, but if earnings are Wednesday afternoon, then or Wednesday after the close, and you should be checking that, not going on this video. That's video's word, that's for sure. And we get some weakness down into that zone early on, could offer a buying opportunity for a day trade. But be real nimble with it. This thing is obviously pretty volatile, and in my opinion, holding over earnings extremely dangerous unless you're using options, okay, and unless you define your risk. Google broke down out of the pattern we were looking at. Okay, we talked about this yesterday, that the pattern could go either way, but the way it was looking, it was under the 200-day. We're looking for a breakdown. That's what happened. Okay, looking to fill the gap. We came just shy of filling the gap. I mean, 528.94 and went to 530.30. Still a pretty nice gain if you took the trigger on the breakdown and you didn't follow some idiot calling this long at the open or anything like that. I don't know who would do that, but 546.04 down to 530.30. I mean, that's almost 16 points on this one. Apple. Okay, pausing back to the 20 EMA and the 10-day moving average. Amazon, somebody said, you're skipping Amazon every day. Okay, I'm definitely going to look at Amazon. I apologize. It would help if I had a list every day. Somebody send me a list every day and say, go over these, and I will absolutely do that. Okay, and I didn't mean to mock the person that wrote that in. I was just having a little fun while we're looking at charts at 12:30 in the morning. All right, so Amazon looks like Google, except it's above the 200-day moving average. Okay, this is like a flip of Google, right? Google had the 50 below and the 200 above. This has the 50 above and the 200 below. That doesn't mean that it can't get a push down if we see weakness in the market. I'd be watching for weakness and see if this bar can get confirmed, and maybe we could test this 200-day moving average. It's just tough to have a bias on the short side when we're above the 200-day moving average. Here's Goldman. Okay, Goldman was looking like a bear flag, but I mean, we're just whittling away here, right? A little spinning top. I'd still watch this one though to see if it gets any follow through here. Okay, how about Caterpillar? Somebody asked about. Yeah, just kind of forming a, I don't even know what you call that pattern. Here's Research in Motion. Okay, decided to finally bounce. We've been tracking this on the video for weeks. Got a nice bounce here, right below the 50-day moving average. So if it could get going here, maybe it'll get back into this gap. Qualcomm, 20 EMA right here, 52.22. Electronic Arts, 20 EMA at 20.83. Also have this horizontal line here. All right, extend that a little bit. Comes right in with the 20.83, the 20 EMA. All right, so let's see if we get some residual weakness on Wednesday. And like I said, I'm going to be watching volume and breadth. I mean, even the light down day comparatively, I mean, down 1% after, including after hours on the SPY. I mean, volume already coming up here, you know, as soon as we see weakness here. So this is not a bullish market here. And the only reason I'm leaning short term to the long side if we get weakness is because I think the market's going to fake people out. And then I think once the confidence is in that maybe we could go higher, this was just a blip, I think that's when we're going to get cracked again. All right? So we'll see what happens. Talk to everybody again on Thursday. Have a great trading day on Wednesday.